Hello all and welcome back. Today we are going to dive into something super cool, creating custom tabs in Microsoft Excel using custom UI editor. If you ever wanted your own customized ribbon with just the tools and features you need, then this video is for you. So what exactly is a custom tab? Think of it as your personal corner in an Excel customized ribbon designed to make your workflow faster and more efficient. Whether it is for your most used commands, macro shortcuts, or even just a bit of organization, custom tabs let you tailor Excel to work your way. Now, to get started, you need a few things. Microsoft Excel, of course, the custom UI tool. Don't worry, I'll show you where to grab that, and just a sprinkle of XML knowledge. Don't let that scare you though. I will walk you through all of it step by step. Ready to up your game in Excel? Let's dive in. Alright, let's get everything set up so we can start customizing Excel. First up, we need the tool that makes all this magic happen, which is a custom UI editor. Unfortunately, this isn't something that comes built into Excel. But the good news is it's free and easy to get. Just head over to the official download page. I'm already here and I have left a link in the description for you. Once you're on this page, just scroll down and click on this link. And in this link, if you scroll down, you can download the installer from here. I'm not going to download it because it is already installed in my PC. Once you have downloaded it, go ahead and install it. The setup process is super straightforward. Just follow the prompts and you'll have it ready in no time. Like I said, I have already installed it here. Now before we dive into the editor, let's prepare an Excel file to work with. You'll need an XLSM, which is a macro enabled file if you're planning to link macros to your custom tab. Let's head over to Excel. I'm going to save this file on the desktop. I will name this file as sample and I will choose macro enabled workbook and I will click on save. We will be opening this file in the custom UI editor soon. I have also posted the link to this file in the description below. Before we open the file in the custom UI editor, let's close this Excel file. With that, we are all set up and ready to start customizing the Excel ribbon. Excited? Awesome. So we'll begin with understanding the custom UI editor interface. When you open the custom UI editor interface, it may look a little basic, but don't let that fool you. This is where all the customization magic happens. Let's go ahead and let's open the workbook we just created. Once the file is loaded, click on it and then click on Insert, and from here you can select the version of the custom UI you want to use. If you're working with modern Excel, choose Office 2010 Custom UI part. This will create a blank XML file where we will define the structure of our custom tab. If you wish, you can also insert this by right-clicking on Sample XLSM and then clicking on Insert Office 2010 Custom UI part. Let's do that. This will insert the custom UI 14.xml file. So double click on that. Here you can start writing your own XML. Or if you wish, you can insert a sample XML. How do you do that? Ensure custom UI 14.xml is selected. Then click on Insert. Then under Sample XML options, choose Custom tab. The editor will ask you if you would like to insert the sample XML code. Click on Yes. Now let's talk about how the ribbon is structured in XML. At the top of your XML file, you will see a custom UI tag. This is like the wrapper for everything inside your custom ribbon. Within it, you'll have tags like ribbon, tabs, tab, group, and button. Each one represents a part of the ribbon. For example, Ribbon defines the main ribbon. Tab creates a new tab. Group organizes your commands into sections. And button adds individual actions like macros or built-in Excel commands. The hierarchy is important here. Tabs contains groups and groups contain buttons. It's all pretty logical once you get the hang of it. And I'll guide you step by step as we build our first custom tab. Now comes the exciting part, building your very own custom tab in Excel. We'll start by writing some basic XML code step by step in which we will add groups, buttons, and even separators to make our tab look nice and user friendly. Organized also, if you may say so. You can name the tab Tame Excel. If you want to, let's say, name it something else, that's absolutely fine. This tab will have a couple of buttons, let's say save, print, and even sort. Okay, ready? Let's do this. First, we need to define the tab itself. We already have a sample XML, so it should be pretty straightforward. Here's what's happening. Tab creates the new tab. ID is a unique identifier for the tab. You can name it anything, but keep it unique. Label is the name that will appear on the ribbon. In this case, Tame Excel. Tabs are divided into groups which keep your commands organized. There's already a group added. Let's give it a proper ID and label. So I will change this to common tasks. And let's change this to common tasks. Now we have got a group named common task ready to hold buttons. Buttons are where the real action happens. Let's add 3 buttons for save, print, and sort. The first button is already added for us. So let's go ahead and let's go through its attributes. ID is the unique identifier for the button. Label is the text displayed under the button. Image MSO is the icon for the button. These are built-in Excel icons like file save for save, file print for print, and sort for sort. The image MSO attribute references the identifier of a built-in image to be used as the icon for a control. For example, setting image MSO equal to file save assigns the standard save icon to the button. This approach leverages existing Office icons, ensuring consistency and a professional look in your customizations. To view the available icons and their corresponding image MSO names, Microsoft provides the Office 2010 add-in icons gallery. This resource is a macro-enabled Word document that showcases the built-in icons you can use in your customizations. You can download it from the Office 2010 add-in icons gallery download page. I have the page open. Let's check it out. I have posted the link to this site in the description for you. So let's go ahead and let's download this file. I will open the downloaded file in a moment. For the time being, let's go back. Like I mentioned earlier, the first button is already added for us. Let's customize it. Since this button is going to be used for save, I will call it Save Button. The label should say Save. And image MSO is File Save. Size I want to keep large. In the XML customization for Excel ribbons, the size attribute determines the size of a control, such as a button on the ribbon. The available options for the size attribute are larger and normal. Size is equal to large displays the button as a large icon with a label below it, and size is equal to normal displays the button as a smaller icon with the label beside it. I'm going to keep it as large. I'm going to delete on action is equal to callback for the time being. I will talk about this in a short while. Now, you may be wondering, where did I get the image MSO is equal to file save from? Okay, Time to open the downloaded Word file. When you open the Word file, you can see the instructions which says images are in the image MSO0 and image MSO1 tabs in the backstage. To access the backstage, click on File, and here you can see image MSO0 and image MSO1. So if you click on that, you can see all the icons with their names. So let's check for file save. And there you go. That's file save. So when we use this image MSO, then our buttons will have this icon. Let's go back. Now let's copy this line and let's paste it 2 more times. 1 and 2. The second button will be for print and the third one for sorting. So let's go ahead and let's customize them. So I'm using the image MSO file print for the print button and the sort for the sort button. When I launch Microsoft Excel, you will see how the icons will look like. To improve the layout, you can also use separators to create visual breaks between buttons. Let's do that. So I'm going to add one separator out after this button and one after this. So you can do that by typing separator ID is equal to sep1 and copy this again and paste it here, and let's call this 2. Let's give it a quick look. Yes, we had decided to name our tab as Tame Excel. So let's change this to Tame Excel. If you're practicing with me, then feel free to give whatever name you like. Let's save our work. I'm now going to open our Excel file to see if the custom tab has been created. If everything is correct, you'll see a shiny new Tame Excel tab with our buttons. So I'll go to desktop and I'll open the Excel file. And there you go. We have our Tame Excel tab and we have 3 buttons: save, print, and sort. Adding custom buttons to your tab is great, but the real power comes when you assign macros to these buttons. This way you can automate tasks directly from the custom tab. You can assign macro to each button using the onAction attribute. Let's understand this step by step. Let's close our Excel file. Now if you remember, I deleted the onAction part here. The onAction attribute is used to specify the macro that will be executed when a button is clicked. Let's update the XML to include onAction attributes for each button. OnAction is equal to save workbook. Let's copy this and let's paste it here and here. We'll type print sheet here and sort data here. I'm going to save the changes by pressing Ctrl S. Alternatively, you can click this save button as well. We will now open the Excel file again. You may be wondering as to why do we keep opening and closing the Excel file. If we do not close the Excel file and if you try to save the changes here, then you will get an error because the Excel application has the file locked. So always close the Excel file before you save here. So let's open the Excel file. We will now define the macros in the VBA editor. If you're not sure what VBA editor is, then I highly recommend watching the video Visual Basic Editor and Introduction. I'm going to open the VBA editor by pressing the shortcut key Alt F11. Let's maximize this and let's insert a module. Let me quickly write the code and then I'll explain what I'm doing here. So here I have written 3 procedures: save workbook, print sheet, and sort data. These will display message boxes when the relevant button is clicked on the tab. This way we will know that the correct procedure was called. If you notice, each procedure has a control parameter. Let me briefly explain what this is. When creating custom tabs using custom UI editor in Microsoft Excel, you'll come across macros where you will see that they are defined with the parameter control as IRibbonControl. If you have been programming for a long time in Microsoft Excel VBA, you may find this slightly unfamiliar. So let's do one thing. Let's understand what exactly is this IRibbonControl. Okay, so the IRibbonControl parameter allows Excel to pass information about the control. Example, buttons, drop downs, or other elements that triggered the macro. This parameter is part of the Microsoft Office ribbon object model and provides details about the control being interacted with. If the parameter is missing, Excel cannot pass the required data, and the error, wrong number of arguments, or invalid property assigned error occurs. Now let's save the Excel file. Great. Time now to click each button and see if the buttons work. So first I'm going to click on save and I get a message. You click the save button and I get you click the print button. Let's check the sort button and I get you click the sort button. So we got the correct messages. This means that the buttons are now connected with the correct procedure. Next, let's see if we can customize icons and other attributes of these buttons. Making your custom ribbon buttons user-friendly and let's say visually appealing is as important as their functionality. Let's explore how to add custom icons and let's say tooltips to enhance the usability of the custom ribbon. Excel's built-in icons via Image MSO are convenient, but sometimes you might want to use your own custom icons to better align with your workflow or branding. I have downloaded 3 icons from freepik.com. You can choose any other image you like, be it ICO files, PNG files, or any other supported formats. Let's add them. We'll go back to the editor, right-click on the custom UI 14 XML, and then click on Insert Icons. Alternatively, you can also click on Insert Icons from the menu. These are the 3 icons that I was talking about. Select all of them and click on Open. And you will see that the icons have been added here. To reference the PNG icon in our XML, we have to use the image attribute instead of image MSO. So I'm going to delete these. And then I will change this to save because that's the name of the image file. So image save, image print, and image sort. You do not need to add the extension of the file. Save, print, and sort will work. The next thing we can customize is the screen tip and the super tip attribute. Tool tips are the small pop-up hints that appear when you hover over a button. These can provide extra information about what the button does, making it easier for users to understand its purpose. Basically, screen tip is a short one-line description that appears as a pop-up, and super tip is a longer, more detailed description for additional context. So let's add screen tip and super tip to our buttons. The beauty of XML is that you can spread it over multiple lines. So what I will do here is I will press Enter key. I'll bring this here like this. Okay, so the next attribute I want is screen tip. So screen tip is equal to save workbook, and a super tip would be click to save the active workbook, and we are done. So same thing, we can do it for print button and sort button. So I'm going to copy these two and I'm going to paste it here. I'm not bringing everything down like I have done it with the first button. That was just to demonstrate how you can spread the lines. So this prints the workbook. So I'm going to type print workbook and here click to print the active sheet. Now This super tip or the screen tip will change depending upon the functionality of this button. It is possible that you may just want to print the sheet, or you may want to print just a selected range. So depending upon the functionality, feel free to edit the screen tip and the super tip. For the last, the screen tip will be sort data. And here you can type click to sort the range. Once done, save the file. But before you save the file, like I said, ensure that the file is closed. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm going to open the file and then I'll show you what happens when you try to save it. Okay, so this file is open right now and I'm going to go and click on save. See, this is what I was talking about. It says the process cannot access the file because the file is being used by another process. So always close the file before you try to make any changes here. Let's try again. Let's go back and let's open the file. If you hover your mouse over the first button, see what it says. You can see the screen tip, which is save workbook, and the super tip, which says click to save the active workbook. Similarly, for print, you have a screen tip and a super tip. Same is for sort. So by customizing icons and tooltips, you can make your custom tab visually appealing and highly functional. It's these small details which can make a basic tab into a more polished and professional tool. Just like you can add buttons, you can also add other RibbonX controls. Let me quickly write some XML code and then I will explain what am I doing here. Let's break down the functionality and purpose of each RibbonX control. The checkbox adds a checkbox to the ribbon, allowing users to toggle an option on or off. The combo box creates a drop-down menu where users can select from a list of font options. Get item count and get item label are VBA callbacks to populate the drop-down. So if you choose this control, then you'll have to write VBA procedures, get font count and get font label. The on change triggers an action when a selection is made. Then we have the toggle button, which adds a toggle button that can be switched on or off. So in this case, it will apply or remove the filters. And then we have the split button, which combines a primary button with a drop-down menu for related actions. Finally, we have the edit box, which adds a text box where users can input custom values. Let's save this and then let's open the file again to see whether these controls have been added. And you will see that the tab has been populated with the RibbonX controls. So this is the checkbox, this is the drop down, but the moment you click on this, you will get an error because the get font count macro has not been written. Then this is your toggle button. This is your split button where you have option 1 and option 2, and this is the edit box. All right, folks, that wraps up our journey into creating custom tabs in Microsoft Excel using custom UI editor. Let's do a quick recap. We started off with basics, setting up the custom UI editor and understanding how the ribbon works. Then we created a custom tab, added buttons and linked them to powerful macros. We explored ways to customize icons, labels and tooltips to make your buttons intuitive and visually appealing. If you still have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Or you can also email me on support@tamexcel.com. I also have a Facebook group. The link is in the description below. If you have any questions, you can post there as well. I would recommend posting it with screenshots and explaining the problem in detail, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you like the kind of videos that I have been putting up, and if you would like to extend support, then go ahead, like the video, share it with your friends, and do not forget to click on the bell icon to subscribe to this channel. The main benefit of subscribing is you will instantly get an alert when I put my next video. I would also like to inform you that there's a playlist. If you are really serious about learning Visual Basic programming from scratch, and that too using high quality videos, then go ahead and check out that playlist. I'm guaranteeing you it will help you out. Until then, happy learning.